Hello, Burp Fam and Pokemon fans. Welcome to day 39 in the countdown to Paldea. Today, we are going to jump right into it and talk about Milotic. Not its pre-evolution, though Feebas is kind of ugly and I don't care for it much, which is why I never bothered to catch a Feebas. Which is also why I've never used Milotic on a team, because you need Feebas to get Milotic, but it's a trait evolution with a heart scale. And I don't have people I can usually trade with. At least not in older games where trading is necessary for it. I could have probably gotten one in Sword and Shield. I just haven't yet. Milotic is pure water type. It's based on a sea serpent and like a mermaid type deal, because its tail kind of looks like a mermaid. I believe it's pure water type anyway. And I think it is half and half for the gender split. I'm not entirely sure on that. It might be mostly female. I didn't bother to look anything up for today's video. I wanted it to be, kind of off the top of my head. So we are gonna talk briefly about Milotic, because like I said, I haven't actually used it on a team, but it is, pure water type is a pretty good type, except against like electric and I think there's one more type it's weak to, but I can't remember. Grass. Electric and grass, and I think bug too. Maybe. But it's really good against, like, rock and ground and fire. And I know a lot of water types, as I discussed before, tend to be ice types. So that's pretty much all I know about Milotic. But let's talk about more than just Milotic. Since we are doing a countdown to Paldea, I want to talk a little bit about Paldea today. We are going to talk about what we've learned so far and my thoughts on it, since I haven't actually made a video with my thoughts. My thoughts on the new trailers and everything. I love that we're getting a new Evo for Girafarig. It needs some love. I think it was introduced in Gen 2, but it hasn't really gotten a whole lot since then. It didn't even really get any buffs or anything, so we're getting a new evolution for Girafarig. I've heard that Delabird's going to be back. I'm kind of disappointed about that, because that Pokemon is just a gimmick, and it's pretty weak and useless. If they gave it like an Evo or something, maybe I'd be at all interested in catching it. I might just catch it for the dex. Something I know that a lot of people are really disappointed about is that we still don't know what these starter evolutions are going to look like. We know the base form starters, Fuecoco, Sprigatito, and Quaxly, but we don't know what their Evos are going to be. And of course, recently we also got a Diglett kind of fake variation called Wiglet, which is supposed to be some sort of like sand eel type thing, or garden eel or something like that. And of course we got the Grafaiai, which is a eye Pokemon that, spray paints trees with graffiti. Normal poison, I believe, is its typing. And we know that there will be Paldean variants like Wooper. We don't know if Wooper is going to evolve into a Paldean variant of Quagsire or a different Paldean form. I've heard that Quagsire is going to be back. I also heard in an update from the Corviknight video that actually Corviknight will be in the game. I'm very, very happy about that. I am so pleased that Corviknight's staying. I cannot tell you how happy I am about that. One of my all-time favorite Pokemon, and I really, really wanted it to stay. And when I saw that it wasn't on the list, but now, according to a leak video that I saw by A-Drive, it will be on the list. It will be in the game. So I'm very excited about that. Some Pokemon that I wish were returning would be like Butterfree. I heard Heracross isn't going to be in it, and I'm a little disappointed about that, because Heracross is pretty cool, but I have heard that Lucario's going to be in it. Obviously I saw Luxray in the trailers, and I think Bullpix and Growlithe are going to be in it. I'm very excited about these games. I really am. And the closer it gets, the more excited I am. There's so much to talk about. And I can't talk about it all in one video. So what we're going to do, every day I'm going to talk a little bit about a Pokemon on my list, one of my favorites. And then we'll talk a little bit more about the Paldean games and any new information that I find and anything like that. So those are some of the high points of today's video. I know I'm talking a mile a minute, but I want to get all this out, but we're going to talk just a little bit about Paldea a little bit more as we go forward. So with that said, I'm going to cut this video here. Tomorrow we are talking about, hang on a second. Sorry for the bad camera work. Cubone tomorrow, and Marowak, both the Cantonian and the Alolan forms of Marowak, because it does have a regional variant in Gen 7. So we will talk about them tomorrow. We'll catch you then. You all have a lovely evening and shine bright.